the gentle kiss of the Tasman Sea on Australian sands. Dawn was breaking on December 1st, 1948, painting Somerton Beach in hues of rose and gold. A peaceful scene, utterly undisturbed, save for the rhythmic ebb and flow of the tide. But this tranquility was about to be shattered by a discovery that would plunge an entire nation into a decades-long enigma, a mystery so profound it would eventually be known as the Tamam Shud Case. Around 6:30 in the morning, two jockeys out for a stroll stumbled upon a man propped against the sea wall. He appeared to be asleep, head resting comfortably, an unlit cigarette perched precariously on his collar. He was impeccably dressed, a double-breasted jacket, trousers, a shirt, and a tie, all meticulously chosen. His shoes were polished. There was nothing outwardly alarming, save for the fact that he wasn't moving. But as they approached, a chilling realization dawned. The man was dead. Police were swiftly called to the scene, just south of Adelaide. What they found immediately raised questions. The man's pockets held a train ticket to Henley Beach, an invalid bus ticket to North Glenelg, a comb, cigarettes of an American brand, matches, and 2 shillings. No wallet, no identification. Furthermore, every single label on his clothing had been meticulously removed, as if someone had deliberately tried to strip him of any recognizable identity. Despite the warm weather, he wore a knitted singlet and underpants beneath his shirt and trousers. An autopsy was performed, but it only deepened the perplexing situation. The pathologist found no obvious cause of death. The man, believed to be in his mid-40s, with an athletic build, seemed to have died peacefully. His internal organs were congested, his spleen enlarged, and there was some liver damage, but no signs of external injury or struggle. The lack of a clear cause was baffling. Toxicology reports found no trace of common poisons, though some experts later theorized he might have been poisoned by something untraceable at the time, like digitalis. He'd eaten a pasty 3 to 4 hours before he died. Who was this man, and how had he met his end? The case immediately captivated the public. Photographs and even a bust of the unidentified man were put on display in the hope that someone, somewhere, would recognize him. But weeks turned into months, and he remained anonymous. Then, on January 14, 1949, a new lead emerged, seemingly from thin air. A brown suitcase was found in the cloakroom of Adelaide railway station, having been deposited the day before the man's body was discovered. It bore the name T. Keane. Inside, police found a dressing gown, slippers, 4 pairs of underwear, pajamas, toiletries, a shaving brush, and a light brown pair of trousers. Curiously, like the clothing on the Somerton Man, all labels had been removed. Yet, a crucial clue lay hidden amongst the items. A unique orange thread, not commercially available, which matched stitching found on the trousers the Somerton Man was wearing. The police were now convinced this suitcase belonged to their mystery man. But despite a nationwide search, no missing person by the name of T. Keane could be found. The trail seemed to go cold once more. Then came the true turning point, a detail so bizarre it cemented the case's legendary status. Months after the body was found, a tiny, tightly rolled piece of paper was discovered sewn into a hidden watch pocket in the man's trousers. On it, printed in a distinctive font, were just 2 words: Tamam Shud. These Persian words, meaning finished or ended, were the final phrase from the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, a collection of ancient Persian poetry. The discovery immediately led police to search for a copy of the book, missing this specific page. In July 1949, a man came forward, stating he had found a rare 1941 edition of the Rubaiyat on the back seat of his unlocked car in Glenelg, a suburb close to Somerton Beach. The book had been placed there just a week or 2 after the body was found. and, chillingly, the final page bearing the words Tamam Shud had been torn out. But the book held even more profound secrets. Scrawled on its back cover were 5 lines of seemingly random, capitalized letters. WRGOABABD, MLIAOI, MTBIMPAN. The 4th line was crossed out and unreadable. ITTMTSAMSTGAB. Was this a code? A message? No cryptographer, amateur or professional, has ever definitively deciphered it. The book also contained a handwritten phone number, which belonged to a young nurse named Jessica Thompson, who lived just a short distance from Somerton Beach. When questioned, she denied knowing the Somerton Man, claimed she had given her own copy of the Rubaiyat to a man named Alf Boxall, and when shown a bust of the unidentified man, she reportedly reacted strangely, almost as if she was about to faint. Yet Boxall was found alive and well, his copy of the Rubaiyat intact. The mystery deepened, fueling theories of espionage and clandestine affairs. For decades, the Somerton Man remained a ghost. His identity was the ultimate missing piece in a puzzle of international intrigue, a forgotten individual whose strange demise captivated generations. Yet, the human desire for answers is relentless. In 2009, Professor Derek Abbott, an electrical engineering professor at the University of Adelaide, began tirelessly working on the case. Utilizing forensic genealogy and advanced DNA testing on hairs recovered from the Somerton Man's bust, Abbott painstakingly built a family tree. And then, in July 2022, after years of dedicated research and a crowdfunding effort, the impossible was achieved. Professor Abbott announced that the Somerton Man had been identified. His name was Carl Charles Webb. Webb, born in Melbourne in 1905, was an electrical engineer and instrument maker. Records showed he had a history of being in South Australia and had married a woman named Dorothy Robertson, from whom he was separated. The identification of Carl Webb was a monumental breakthrough, finally giving a name to the man who lay anonymously for 74 years. But even with an identity, the true mystery of the Somerton Man endures. Why was he on Somerton Beach that night? Why were all his labels removed? What was the meaning of Tamam Shud? Was his death a suicide, a meticulously planned murder, or something else entirely? And what, if anything, did those cryptic letters on the Rubaiyat truly mean? Carl Webb now has a name, but the chilling details of his final hours and the profound secrets he carried with him to the grave remain stubbornly locked away, echoing across the quiet sands of Somerton Beach. The impossible identity is solved, but the impossible crime remains one of Australia's most enduring and haunting unanswered questions.